Donk Nation, Jax and Janet's greetings and welcome to your daily dose of Donkey with Ginger. It's your boy, the Viking Donkey, bringing you a special BugCap this week. We just got done watching the Steelers beat the Chargers. Bugboo, JD in attendance for the dub. Boys, how's it feeling right now? Bug, start with you.
Good.
JD.
Good.
All right, you guys were there, so explain to me how'd the game go and what did you see from the Steelers?
I saw lots of touchdowns.
Lots of touchdowns. It looked good there. Jory, what did you see?
Field goals.
Field goals. Yeah, that's the typical Steeler offense. To me, things moved forward a lot better than they have in the past. This was the first true test. Now, a few injuries made it less of a test. I mean, Herbert being limited by wobbliness. Obviously not good for the Chargers. Losing Bosa on the first play of the game. Not good for the Chargers. But it was a real test. It's a well-coached team in Harbaugh. And by the end, it looked like the Steelers had just made them quit. The Steelers really struggled running the ball till the final drive and then established a big just dominance there. Whether it was Najee running through, getting tackled at the 1-yard line so we get stuck at 20 points, or whether it was Cordero Patterson hitting holes for 14 yards, it really looked like the Steelers made the Chargers quit by the end of the game, don't you think, Bug?
Yeah.
Yeah, how about you, JD? Yeah, and now we always have to talk about the Steelers' injury front. Some players going down there, specifically Alex Highsmith looks like his injury is going to be at least a couple weeks, and the same with Jaylen Warren. So potentially the Steelers, much like the Chargers, had some really impact injuries in that game. Do you think that's going to hurt the Steelers, or do you think the fact that it's an opportunity now, like Cordero Patterson seemed to take advantage of the running back snaps he got after Warren's injury, and Nick Herbig. I always get him wrong. So baby bro Herbig got 2 sacks after Highsmith's injury. Are these two guys just going to step up and make it so that those 2 injuries don't mean anything for the Steelers?
They're going to step up like hurricanes.
Like hurricanes. Well, that's, I guess, the appropriate time to say that in terms of the U.S. timing. But what do you think?
They're going to step up.
You think they're going to step up, JD? All right. So, like I said, it's a special one. We have both Bug and JD. Got to go see the game. Haven't watched a replay of it. But definitely some good things to like about this. So you want to start on the offense, Bug?
Yeah.
While the running game definitely struggled in the first half, and without Bosa, obviously that Chargers team not as good, but they stuck with it at the end of the game when they needed to run out the clock. The running game did exactly what it should, dominated, and looked fantastic. Looked like they wore down a team with a bigger back like Najee. That's what you expect, is that the running game will be more effective the later the game goes. So to me, that was right on cue. I would have loved, like I said, you'd loved it to be effective from snap one, but it did exactly what it needed to do. I say the running game gets a solid B+ for its performance. The passing game gets a B+ as well. Justin Fields used the middle of the field. We saw guys getting open. Finally, someone else step up. Scotty Miller looking like a good option at wide receiver too. Had some big catches, don't you think?
Yeah.
Some turning down the sideline at the end of the half, JD. And then, of course, the big touchdown, and this is what Austin should be for this team, is the number 3-4 receiver that can bring speed on a certain number of plays. Catches a huge touchdown that Fields finds him perfectly in a hole in the zone. Safety takes a bad angle. Speed like Austin means it's going to be a touchdown, and that was a heck of a play for you to see, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, me and JD were in the bathroom because we went to the bathroom for first Chargers touchdown and that touchdown. But I watched replay, and Calvin Austin's fast, don't you think, George?
Yeah.
Yeah, he certainly is. So it was really good on the passing downs there. I mean, Fields had some immaculately placed balls. The incompletion to Freiermuth was perfect where the placement was. That's the only spot you can put it. He looks good throwing the football. The Steelers kept penalties down for the first time all year, which was a huge thing, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, not losing yards due to silly mistakes made them look good, don't you think, George?
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, offensively, there was the little bit of bugaboos. You got to see the bad Justin Fields, the throws, and specifically to me, all 3 were curl routes to Cordero Patterson, where you could see that the coverage was going to be there before the ball, and Justin threw it all 3 times and threw it high. One was intercepted by former Steeler Bud Dupree. But with the way Fields played, do you think you can give him a pass on the turnover? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and all in all, I give the passing game also a solid B+. I felt that offensive performance was a B+, borderline A if there was no turnover, but the single turnover where the Steelers losing the turnover battle and winning a game, a rarity to see. But we got to witness it in person. It was a fun game to be at. You got any closing thoughts on how the offense played?
Really good.
Really good. Anything to say? Anybody want to shout out specifically?
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. How about you, George? Anything about the offense? You don't know. That's okay. Now let's get to the defense side of the thing. Justin Herbert, clearly limited, was able to be successful passing the ball against the defense, not really put it in the end zone, except for the blown coverage by Joey Porter and Minka Fitzpatrick, whoever happened to miss assignment or miscommunication there. Joey Porter Jr. definitely got exposed a little bit. You can see the Chargers did film study and did a lot of double moves, which, like, all the Steelers' penalties were on him. But outside of that, decent game for him. And I'd say he was the defender that probably had the worst day. Patrick Queen made a little more splash this time, but was still out of position in some of the run plays, over pursuing and leaving the angle that he comes from. We saw that happen again. Wilson looked really good. Baby bro Herbig steps in, gets 2 sacks. TJ Watt does TJ Watt things. Hayward steps up. You have a Chargers team that's averaging like 160 yards rushing a game, get absolutely held down by the run D. They were not afraid of Herbert run, so they were playing 8 in the box and daring the throws to happen. And when the Chargers did throw with Herbert, they were pretty effective, but they were reluctant to throw because they were reluctant to expose Herbert to our front 7. I think that's the way the Steelers should always play, is aggressive stopping the run and daring them to throw. Even if we don't have faith in the secondary, have faith in that front 7 getting home. I thought they played great on defense. What did you guys see?
Really, really good defense.
Yeah? What do you think, George?
Good.
Good. For me, the grade here, based off sacks, we had a bunch of sacks, brings it up, and I'd say it's another B-plus performance. You have to force a turnover for me in order to get an A, and that's the only thing this defense didn't do. There was no turnovers. There was no splash plays on the defense, just some sacks that came in, but holding down that Chargers offense that had looked really good till this week, a heck of an accomplishment, don't you think? You got anything to say about this defense? TJ, that's all you have to say about the defense. How about you, George? Anything to say about the defense?
I don't know.
You don't know? All right. And then the final part of the team is special teams, and Corliss Waitman did his job. Punt return unit didn't do anything terrible. Field goals were field goals because Boswell's Boswell. But something special, we finally kicked the ball in play on a spinning ball, rotating ball that's hard to recover. The guy only gets it to the 14-yard line. Maybe the Steelers are figuring something out on the kickoff game that could give them an advantage after scoring some points. Is that cool to see or what?
Really cool to see.
Yeah, how about you?
Cool.
All right, Jordy, we're going to start with you. You were there in Acrisure Stadium. Tell me your experience and tell me what you enjoyed most about being at the game.
Watching it.
Watching it, that's what you enjoyed most? Anything else about your experience? Was it cool?
Yeah.
Was it loud?
Yeah.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Good. Go. Give me your whole experience. Talk as much as you want about as much as you want.
Pittsburgh got a second win that I got to watch. Yay.
That makes you 2-1 there. I'm surprised you didn't mention grabbing your Thor hammer as your favorite part of the game there, George. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the little guy got himself a little Thor hammer. I think that's a pretty good wrap on how the Steelers performed against the Chargers. We covered everything. It was a heck of a game for the Steelers. That's the type of performance you want to see. A defense that really didn't let much happen. An offense that was efficient with the football and progressively looking better the more they let Justin Fields throw the ball. In my opinion, I thought he looked really good. Now let's get to picks for this week. We will go ahead and start the AFC North games. We got the 0-3 Bengals going to the 1-2 Carolina Panthers. Bug, who'd you got?
You like Panthers.
You like the Panthers, Jordy. The Bengals or the Panthers?
Panthers.
And Jordy also wants to go with the Panthers. We have the 1-2 Browns going to the 1-2 Raiders. Who'd you like in that one, Bug?
Let's go with Raiders.
Raiders. And Raiders. Jordy, you're not allowed to just mimic your brother, so we're going to go to you first this time. We got the Buffalo Bills at 3-0 going to the 1-2 Baltimore Ravens. Buffalo. Who'd you like?
Ravens.
Ooh, looking. I don't even know if that's an upset. They're supposed to be good. Just the record doesn't say so, is what people tell you. And then the moneymaker, we got the 3-0 Steelers going to the 1-2 Colts. Jordy, who'd you like?
Steelers.
Bugga.
Steelers.
That's awesome. All right, it's time for you guys to give a shout out. This is the player or person you felt was the best performer in the last game. We'll start with you, JD, since this is the BugCap. We'll let him finish it. Who do you want to give a shout out to? Cam Hayward's the guy you got a jersey of. Cam Hayward. All right, Bugga, who do you want to give a shout out to?
Let's do Cam Hayward.
Cam Hayward. I thought you were going to do TJ Watt with your newly minted TJ Watt jersey. But that brings the BugCap to an end. Make sure you tune in for the flagship show a little later today. They're done on the same day because, well, traveling is crazy from time to time. But we had Bugaboo, we had JD. I am the Viking Donkey. That's Viking_Donkey on Twitch. Twitter, your Daily Dose of Donkey with Ginger is the YouTube channel where you get this fun content. And Steeler Nation, wave them if you got them.
Let's go, Steelers Nation! DJ Watt.